just opened his anti-cancel culture club in Austin. That is how he's billing it. He's calling it the Comedy Mothership. That's the name of the club. And he's selling it, like the selling point of it is that it is an anti-cancel culture comedy club.
Hell yeah, finally.
Finally, dude, because
finally, bro.
You know, normally all the fucking comedy clubs I've gone to in my entire life, they're always just so woke. They're always talking about the wokest shit in there. You know?
I mean, yeah, when's the last time you saw a prominent stand-up comedian that didn't name their special like canceled?
Dude, I saw Dave Chappelle. I think that was the last person I saw live recently. Not recently, like maybe like a year ago. That was the last person I saw live testing out his new bits in the immediate aftermath of like putting out his special. And that's usually where comedians are their weakest, right? Because like they have to come up with new material. The only way to figure out new material is by, you know, figuring out what gets you laughs.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the entire time he's just blasting fucking lung darts on stage in the small room upstairs at the Comedy Store, my favorite comedy club in Los Angeles. And he was literally the room was fucking packed. He smoked his cigarettes, constantly just chirping about like trans kids and how annoyed he is that like they yell at him. So it was basically a TED Talk. It was just a TED Talk, but like you know, an anti-woke TED Talk. So if that's what's gonna happen at the Joe Rogan Comedy Mothership, you know, I'm not interested.
Well, so here is what I found interesting. First of all, it's a $40 cover, which is that's pretty high steep just to cruise in, isn't it?
For a comedy club, I'd say yeah.
They also have huge opening acts like Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr?
Yes, they're having her in there and pretending like she's
and Ron White. Dude, what are you doing? Like, Tim Dillon I get, you know what I mean? You know, shouts out to Tim Dillon. But you got Roseanne Barr, Ron White, and Tony Hinchcliffe, who's like, you know, Tony Henchman of Joe Rogan. He's like kind of mid, I guess. You know, he has an audience still, possibly. And then Dave Chappelle is the closer. God, that is the most... I mean, that lineup... Tim can't say this because, you know, or most comedians can't say this because they want to perform at the Comedy Mothership. And I really want this place to be good. I do. But that lineup is not as stacked as you would want it to be.
What do you think about the fact that Joe Rogan scans people's faces to enter? I find that odd.
Wait, really?
He has face scanners that people have to submit to enter the fucking comedy club.
Okay.
Seems very anti-Joe Rogan.
The venue's theme is Aliens meets Art Deco, the latter a respectful nod to the remodel theater's century-long history. There is a UFO above the door in the lobby, warnings that hecklers will be alienated, and a Stargate-like arch over the main stage. Love all that stuff. That stuff is cute. I'm a fan of all that. You know, it's nice. And I know Joe Rogan cares about comedy deep down inside, even if his own personal comedy's not that great. I know he cares about this shit, right? And I think that this could be possibly cool. I don't know. I haven't seen the venue.
Bro, that line is whack. That is not impressive.
Well, regardless, the venue's theme is you know, it's whatever. It's cool.
Not that big of a venue.
It's not that big of a deal. It's whatever.
No.
But the logistics of the matter that you were talking about, Rogan has helped lead the practice of banning phones at comedy shows, which I agree with, by the way. I think that's a good thing. I'm 100% in support of that. Dave Chappelle does it as well. You have those like little Faraday cage style boxes that you put your phone into as a sleeve that gets a magnetic lock placed on it. I think it's smart. It's understandable. It's one way to try and get ahead of people like filming your test bits. You know what I mean? And I don't have an issue with that. But security is a bit intense as you have to get your face scanned like you're going through the airport security at Heathrow. That seems a little wild.
What do you think about the face scanning? That really threw me off. Why are we scanning faces? Like, genuinely, why are we doing that?
I don't know. It's rumored to help identify hecklers and identify people using fake IDs, I guess. That's what they're saying.
There's like famous hecklers. Don't let him in. He's a heckler.
From what I could research, I think it's a thing that like higher end newer clubs are doing, like not necessarily like comedy clubs, but like nightclubs and stuff.
They have like a no-fly list.
It might be for that. I don't know.
Hey,
I see some people in the chat saying it's common at nightclubs now. So, yeah, I think I mean, I agree. Just because it just seems like something Joe Rogan would be like worried about.
Like dystopian as shit.
But also like all of Joe Rogan like pretending like he hates big tech. I mean, the dude is friends with fucking Elon Musk. It's like he doesn't really have an aversion to all that stuff. So I don't know.
Here actually is when the real comedian takes stage. This is the button-free zone, I like to call it. Thank you. The button-free zone. That's what my comedy special will be called. It's another way to say you can't cancel.
Remember
fun,
though,
button.
like when they say they're anti-cancel culture, or when they say they're like pro comedy, they mean like pro whatever their perspective is. Because if you were actually pro comedy, and you had access to Dave Chappelle, you would literally sit him down and be like, bro, you are literally just doing a transphobic TED Talk now. That's all you do. Please go back to the good shit. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because all he does is fucking complain like an old, out-of-touch guy who is very rich.
People love it, though, now.
No, but they don't. They do
They
this.
do.
This is very different.
No, the conservatives love it.
This is very different than, haha, this, okay? If you're going for applause...
He thinks he's doing George Carlin, but like a hateful bigot version of George Carlin.
Yeah, but God, it just sucks. It sucks so bad.
It does.
But George Carlin was also funny on top of like punching up or whatever. There was also an element of humor because it perfectly broke down societal constructs that were ridiculous and laughable and laughed at it, right? Simply stating for the 17th time that like trans people are kind of weird, huh? What's going on with that? It's like a man wearing a dress. It's like, oh, okay.
Hey, do you think they'd let me in the club wearing my John Brown hoodie?
Probably. I mean,
Open carry.
It depends on how. It depends on how far gone
carry
they
with
are.
my John Brown hoodie. That make you uncomfortable?
It depends on how far gone they are from, because a lot of those guys get like really, really upset when you are doing the same kind of humor, but on the left. I think so. We saved comedy a little bit.
We should start our own comedy club called Woke Comedy Only.
That sounds great.
Where no offensive jokes are ever allowed.
Yeah, the Nanette.
I was about to say
Yeah.
it's her every night.
Yeah, Hannah Gadsby only. It's only Hannah Gadsby and like fucking, TechCrunch like VC startup guys who get up there and talk about like sustainable disruptive technologies
Hell
or whatever
yeah.
the fuck.
That sounds hilarious.
Hey, did you guys hear the one about the lab-grown meat? It was delicious.
It was delicious.
Everybody enjoyed it.
And it's reducing carbon emissions.
That's right. We're working on lowering the price so it's actually competitive with real meat.
We should ban hamburgers.
No hamburgers in this club.
No laughs allowed, actually. You can't even laugh.
Don't laugh too loud, please. It's
Can we do the snap
considered
thing?
heckling.
Can we do the snap thing, please?
Snapping
Yeah.
only. You're disturbing our
Laughter is bourgeois
performers.
decadence, sir.